The cash flow data is so valuable because it's really real time. It's showing, what's happening compared to credit scores, which can be a bit more lagging. Also important when you're thinking about, the holistic credit of small business, but that cash flow data is really giving you the pulse on how things are going there.
Yeah, and when we're looking at cash flow data, it's a very interesting point in time in a small business's life because it's really the few months, the 3 to 6 months before their application for credit, whether it's an application at On Deck or one of our other small business clients. And it gives you a sense of how they're managing their capital and what they might do with additional capital and also their capacity to service new debt. I think it's interesting in this quarter's results, we saw that across the board, on average, revenue for small businesses was down compared to Q4. And some of that, of course, is seasonality. The other interesting part of that is that payroll expenses remain pretty high. So they haven't come down to the extent that revenue has. And it almost mirrors the national conversation that we're having about inflation and consumers and how people think about inflation. There's a lot of talk about how inflation affects the average American family. There's a little bit less about how it affects businesses. But in this data, we've gotten to see inflation of labor costs is one of those really interesting things that just continues to be pretty persistent. In our survey and in our data, we saw that still on average, most of these small businesses are spending about 20% of their revenues on payroll.